He was part of that top-ranked recruiting class that came to UCLA in 2012. It is Tony Parker. You can find him on Twitter at Tony Parker32. But Tony, I thought 23 was your number, so why didn't you include that in your Twitter handle?
So when I got to UCLA, 32 was Bill Walton retired it. So I had Twitter in high school, and you can't change your Twitter handle.
That's true.
I had to go to 23.
Yeah.
So, Bill Walton took my number.
So Bill, got to blame it on Bill Walton, because I was looking at your Twitter, and I'm on Twitter at Bryan Fenley, and obviously, Tony, so great to have you on the show here. Really appreciate your time. I was like looking up Tony Parker 23, and it was a dude that had like 13 followers. I'm like, the Tony Parker I'm talking to has thousands and thousands of followers. He would be much better suited for having that as his Twitter handle. How are you doing? It's been a couple years since you finished up your time at UCLA. Where are you? What are you up to?
Man, actually, I'm at UCLA.
You are? Okay.
Yeah. Finishing up my degree. Well, I'm not at UCLA because, we're –
Sure.
So actually, this is a lot like class. We do the Zoom classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's fun. I'm at UCLA, finishing up with school, just, being a school kid again, studying.
How was that adjustment? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I said, trying to study.
I was going to ask you, how was that, the Zoom and the different alternative ways to try to teach impacted you as someone trying to get your degree in learning?
Well, with me, it impacted me because, I'm older, so all my classes are smaller. I'm at the tail end. So, the professors are, it might be 10 and 12 people in my class, give or take. So, it's a real intimate relationship with your professor. So, when it's over Zoom, that completely cancels out.
Sure.
And a lot of professors don't really know how to work Zoom. So, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is, because those people probably, some of them might not even know how to turn a computer on, but that's her. Tony, you've had a whole lot of interesting nicknames over your career.
Yeah.
I like the Big Sexy. I think that fits you perfectly. Where are you with that nickname? Because I'm sure you've heard a whole lot of other ones.
I was born in 93. I think that nickname, it just fell to me.
Yeah.
I think it's been there since then. I don't think I will ever be able to shake that nickname.
Yeah.
Like when people see me, that's what they think. So
yeah,
it's a blessing and a curse. But I don't complain. I think that's an hilarious nickname. I think that was I really was just playing around.
Yeah.
Played it on the Jumbotron at the game. It took off. So I just have to stick with it.
Yeah, I think that it fits you perfectly, and I never think that there will be a better one for you, because I'm sure that it worked for you off the court and on the court as well, that nickname. And speaking of being on the court, when you were a youngster growing up in Georgia, what all led and formed your decision to come to UCLA?
Well, my high school, we won state every year. So UCLA wasn't even in my picture, to be honest.
Wow.
Al and Jordan Jordan contacted me because I've known Jordan since I was like 12. I've known Kyle Anderson since I was 12 too.
Yeah.
So Jordan contacted me like, yo, you should go to UCLA. Then Kyle Anderson at the McDonald's game was like, hey, bro, I think you should go to UCLA.
Wow.
Then Shabazz and Kyle came to my room at the Jordan Brand Classic and was like, hey, UCLA is the move for us. Like, we should do it.
Wow.
And then Corey McRae, I had known Corey McRae.
That's right.
For a long time. I could play for him in AAU. He's well known in Atlanta for basketball. It's my guy. So I was just like, man, let's go. So it was cool.
And then Coach
Howland was already established. Like,
Sure.
Committing Coach Howland was not even a hard thing at all. He's a great coach, Final Fours. Like, he's proven Kevin Love. Like, he's had the talent. He knows what to do with the talent. So committing to Coach Howland was just, it was a cakewalk, to be honest.
So you were convinced, you had seen his pedigree, you guys had all come together and developed that what I think was the number one ranked recruiting class in 2012 as you became a part of that. And you go back to your announcement day, and it was a ceremony you had. You're a couple years removed from that. How do you look back at that and what you did to make it known publicly that you did pick UCLA?
To be honest, I haven't looked back at that in a while. Like, my school set it up.
Okay.
So it's like, I just literally just showed up. That was
Yeah.
what it was. Like, I knew, my parents knew, so I just literally showed up.
What about when you showed up to UCLA, and given that you're from the East Coast, so what were parts of that move that you weren't expecting? Because it's got to be a little bit of a culture adjustment from East Coast to West Coast, thousands of miles away from your family and all that.
It was a big culture shock, to be honest. Me, Kyle, and Jordan and Boss, we literally just stayed around each other. Like, we didn't venture off, do anything. We was around each other 24/7. I mean, you gotta understand, I was coming from the South. The food was a lot different. Like, I got to UCLA, I didn't even know what avocado was.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? It was an extreme difference. Like, the culture change was extremely different from Atlanta and LA are like two totally different worlds.
Really?
So it was definitely a big adjustment. It wasn't easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough.
But you had, like you said, you had Jordan Adams, who's from Georgia, and so you had these relationships.
Yeah.
So you had those guys to help you along the way. Freshman year, you maybe had bigger expectations for yourself, but when you look back at freshman season and all that took place, some guys having to leave the team, you're right there. How would you put into words that freshman season for you?
It was tough. Like, it wasn't easy at all. But like I said, like, I'm Coach Howland. Like, he's done it. So you gotta, like, I mean, he's done it. So I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't knock him. But he stayed on me. Him and Corey stayed on me. I mean, I was getting better throughout the year. I was behind some older, experienced guys, and that's just what it was. But I mean, when I tell you, Coach Howland, Coach Corbin McCray, and Coach Matthews, Scott Garson, they really just know the game of basketball. So it wasn't like I was lacking anything. Like, every day I got elite workouts, everything was elite. So I mean, it was an adjustment, but I was really getting good work in. So it wasn't really like crazy.
When I think about, Tony, your best game, and certainly tell me if I'm wrong here, but I go to your junior season in the NCAA tournament against UAB, and you went off for, 28 points. You went 11 of 14 from the field, dominating in that game. Was that the kind of force that you always knew you had within you when you were recruited by UCLA?
Definitely. I never really scored a lot, though. Like, my dad wasn't big on me scoring a lot. Like, he was more like, you rebound. And I scored, the most I've scored in the game was like 35, and we lost. My dad was like, you lost because they weren't prepared. Like, you didn't prepare your team as a leader. So, like, I never really thought of it as a scorer. I think my career high was like 28, 27. But my thing was just rebounding. Like, I really wanted to be an elite rebounder. Because, like, I mean, like, when you watch basketball, you know. Like,
yeah.
You know, when you watch basketball, when you watch the NBA, you know what your role is going to be eventually. And I knew my role, if I ever made it to the NBA, was going to have to be an elite rebounder and an elite pick-and-roll defender. And that's one of the reasons why I went to UCLA, because Coach Howland is a great defensive coach. So I knew he was going to put pressure on me to learn how to play the pick-and-roll at a high level. So, like, I never really thought to be, like, this big scorer. Like, when I had to, I did.
Sure.
UAB was just one of those games where we played SMU. What is that? I think it's SMU.
Oh, that crazy game with the goaltending at the end?
We played to go to and I played terrible. I had a bad game. So, you know, Kevon Looney still one of my closest friends. He was like, hey, look, man, you gotta play better than that. Like we were always brutally honest. So he would play, man, you play soft, bro. Like, you know, probably cursed me out. So I'm like, all right. And we're roommates. So I got that all the way to the bus.
Okay.
Back to LA, and then all the way back to when we played UAB. So I was like thinking about that the entire time. And we played UAB earlier that year.
Okay.
I only had like 9 points or 10 points. Like, I played garbage. It was like where was it? I think it was in Hawaii or something. Like, I played terrible. So like I was like, all right, this is the game where I gotta go ham on these dudes, because I feel like I owed them that. And I played bad the first game, so we had to figure it out.
So I love it. You guys holding each other accountable and being honest with each other. And I'm sure that translated to better play on the court. When you had to undergo the coaching change from Hallen and then Steve Alford comes in, what was that sort of adjustment like for you as far as learning the game? And then both of those guys, as you know, had completely different ideas about how to run an offense.
It was a big difference because you gotta understand the type of guy Coach Allen is.
Sure.
Coach Allen's a stickler. Like, he's cool and all, but he's a stickler. Like, you know what I mean? He's on you. And, you know, he coaches you tough because he wants to get the best out of his players.
Yeah.
He's been there. He's done that. With Coach Alfred, it was a bit different. You know, like, he didn't have the success that Ben Howland had. So you really had to adjust to him learning how to coach at UCLA on the fly and learning him on the fly. Whether it's a guy who's been here for 10 years, who's done this for 10 years, he knows what to expect. He knows what refs is going to call what. He knows how to, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a totally different ball game. He's done less with more. He's done more with less. So, I mean, like, it was a big shock to just, like, undergo that.
And you still had 2 back-to-back Sweet 16 performances, and you had a lot of winning while you were there at UCLA. If there's something that Bruin fans don't understand about the Tony Parker experience, what is it from your time at UCLA?
My time at UCLA, like, the experience I had was just different from, like, a lot of college kids who go into regular college. And I feel like that's probably the biggest difference. Like, I really had to adjust a lot because Coach Howland was way different than Coach Alford. And you had to, like, those are way 2 different personalities. And when you go into high school, like, I was training up to play for Coach Howland. So,
Sure.
like, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Coach Corey was one of my AAU coaches. He literally played the blueprint for me to be a player in Coach Howland's system, which was going to benefit me regardless. So, like that was, like, one of the biggest things. And, like, when the coaching change happened, I really had to sit down with my dad, like, look, and he was just like, we're going to just figure it out. So that's probably one of the biggest differences. And, like, as a guard, it's easier because you have the ball in your hand, so you ultimately going to do whatever you want. As a big, it's completely different because I'm setting, like you said, screens, you're posting, and coaches post bigs way different. I mean, they screen way different. Like, ball screens are different. Everything is different. Outlets are different. I think Coach Howland's system was more controlled and like, tight knit, where Coach Alfred's system was more free flowing.
Sure.
And that was just the biggest difference.
Tony Parker is with us. Follow that man on Twitter at Tony Parker 32. But Tony, I believe on Instagram, it's Tony Parker 23. So you got it on Instagram. Good on you. He's got thousands of followers. He's a good, awesome dude. I wanted to ask you about your senior year at UCLA because it obviously didn't go the way you had hoped. With that said, what do you take from that senior year that probably matured you the most?
My senior year definitely matured me the most.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Like, you just gotta understand, you never know what to expect from people.
Sure.
So you always just gotta be on your P's and Q's. I was a little, I don't know if I was, like, in the beginning of my senior year, I was killing, but, like, a lot of times, like, people are gonna blame you for things in life that isn't your fault, but you just have to rock it off and just keep pushing. And I feel like that's what I learned the most. Just keep pushing. Like, everything ain't gonna work out in your favor.
Yeah, I feel like you have always been in the spotlight, and there's always going to be people that are dissatisfied or have these level of expectations and a hype for you that no matter how good you are, some people are just going to be like that they think that you never reach those. And that's just on them because no matter what you do and what position you are in the spotlight, you're always going to have those people. And I'm pretty sure it sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, that you're at peace with where you are. I mean, sure, you would have liked to have finished your senior season out a little bit better. And like you said, you played well individually at the start of that year. But now that it's been about 4 years since your time at UCLA, you feel more or less at peace, right, for what you've done?
Definitely do. I mean, I keep in contact with Coach McCray, keep in contact with Coach Howland. Kyle and Jordan are some of my best friends. Kevon Looney is my dog. Prince. So, you know, I made a lot of good relationships. You know, it's just like, so I'm I'm super, super at peace. Like I don't think I could be more at peace.
I think you're also at peace when it comes to beating people in video games. And
It's just not video games. Like, with this quarantine, I've really like widened my sense of just variety and winning, because I'm a winner at the end of the day. So I'm like, I'm beating an old man that I know in pickleball every other day, you know, and it's just like, well, he's not super old. He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
But, when I tell you, like, I'm just like, and I'm probably the best black pickleball player in America right now.
You heard it right here on the podcast. This is it.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just widening my whole variety of just everything.
I love it. And you've probably had to be pretty creative with how you were able to use your time. How do you stay busy? Are you playing pickleball? You're at home. What are we doing? I mean, you can only watch Netflix for so long, right? And video games.
Warzone. I play Warzone on Call of Duty?
Yeah.
So I play Call of Duty sometimes. I play Call of Duty with Alex Olashinsky.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big Call of Duty player. I read books, play pickleball. I play tennis every now and then. I'm not as good at tennis as I should be, but man, am I getting better.
Watch out, man. Okay.
I'm probably going to pick up golf sooner or later.
Okay.
When it opens up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm just like, it's really a lot of time. And it's the hardest thing to do is keep your sleep schedule. Sure. That's the hardest thing to do. But other than that, it's free flowing, man. And picking out things to eat is really, really tough too. Because you can only cook so many different things.
Yeah.
I'm not like in Atlanta. I'm still in LA right now because Corona hit Atlanta.
Sure.
And my sister had it. My brother-in-law was in critical condition. My grandpa passed from it. So I couldn't even go back home. It was just, so I literally just stayed in LA. So I just really had to just find things to do.
How are you? I mean, it can't be long since all this has happened in your family. How have you processed that part of things with your grandfather and other family members that have had to deal with this?
I mean, it's pretty tough because it's absolutely nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really just have to really monitor it and stay as safe as possible. And just hope for the best at this point. Because it is pretty tough. But I mean, this is a real serious deal. So you really just have to hope for the best.
How close were you with your grandpa?
Oh, I was pretty close to my grandpa. Really, really pretty close. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's my dad's father, so it really hit my dad really pretty tough. And we weren't able to have a funeral because it's just not safe right now, to be honest. Yeah. And we don't even want to put older people in that environment to affect anything. So it's different.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling safe and you're in a great position being at UCLA on your studies. I wanted to ask you about because we had Prince Ollie on the other day, and here's a guy, he talks a lot of trash when it comes to video games.
Yeah, he does.
He does. And
pretty bad, too. He's pretty terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And so, especially with 2K, and there was a story where he was basically losing in a game, I think it was with Jalen Hands, and Prince made up some excuse where he went outside of his apartment, pretended like he was on the phone, like meeting a friend, while all of a sudden the friend doesn't show up and he's losing the video game while this is happening, and he turns off the power to the apartment so that he technically can't lose the game. And then he is saying that, no, it was actually the power and it was not me. But we all know, I think anybody with their right mind would understand that it was actually Prince Ollie who couldn't take the losing. So how is it with him when, let's say, you would play him in a video game? How does he handle himself?
I mean, I talk a lot of trash. But you gotta understand the level I'm playing. In Madden, I'm top 5 in the world. In 2K, I'm top 50. I don't play FIFA. So them the only 2 sports games I play. So I ain't losing. So I think Prince comes in just optimistic, and then he loses. It's you know what I mean? It's like the time we played Kentucky. and we lost, and we had like 7 points at halftime. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's how it is when I'm playing 2K. Like it's just the onslaught.
Yeah.
I'm beating people with the Hawks at this point.
I would love to hear, Tony, his excuse, because knowing Prince, he will find some sort of excuse to blame why he's losing. And he can't just accept it.
You know who's good at video games? Jordan Adams.
Yes, he is. And we had him on too, and he's basically calling out former Bruins because he's expecting a beatdown of them.
Dog. And like Madden, Jordan's unreal.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty he's for real. Like he's unreal. But I mean he played quarterback. Jordan was a top 5 quarterback in high school. Nobody did that. He was a top 5 quarterback in high school. He played Jadeveon Clowney on a national televised game, got sacked like 4 times, I think, never played again.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever have that thought of going the football route yourself?
Alabama recruited me, South Carolina recruited me, Georgia recruited me. I just thought that I really thought, right now I don't have a haircut, but I really thought my hair was too nice for the helmet. And it's pointless. It's pointless to do all this hard work. And at the end of the day, women can't see your face.
I love it.
That really hit home. I couldn't do it. I couldn't play football.
If you're trying to live up to the nickname Big Sexy,
football ain't it.
Football is not it.
No.
You made a strong power move there. My last question for you, Tony, is you've seen so many of your fellow Bruin teammates, Jordan Adams being one, and Kyle Anderson, and Shabazz, and Looney. All of these guys have gone to the NBA. What's it been like to be a part of all of this and see these guys thrive? And you are as well, as you're at UCLA right now and catching up on your studies, but to also see so many that you got to be up and close with do great things with the game of basketball and represent UCLA.
I mean, it's really, really good. I play with a ton of pros. Zach LaVine, Norman.
Yeah, that's right. Those 2 guys too, yeah.
Kevon. I'm probably closest with Kevon, Jordan, and Kyle. I talk to Kevon every day almost, every other day almost. We kick it religiously. In the summertime, I was with Kyle almost every day. Me and Jordan. Jordan's like my brother. We're both from Atlanta. Sure. So it's crazy. I mean, I think it's crazier that like Jordan is starting a family, Kyle is starting a family.
Right.
Like I think that is like the craziest thing to see.
Yeah.
Like, we've known these guys since we were 12, and they got a son. Like Kyle has a son, Jordan has a daughter. Like I feel like that's probably the craziest part. And like me and Kevon, it's like it's like my little brother. So like I just basically raised them.
Wow.
So just seeing my little youngster growing up, living life, being a big mentor to my youngest boy, it's just it's a blessing to see.
Wow. The Bruin.
Make sure you put that in the clip because I'm sending that to Kevon.
Oh, totally. And if Kevon has time, would love to have him on the show. I know he's a busy guy and he's got important things to do, but we would love to have him on here if he has the time.
Perfect.
Awesome. Give Bruin fans an update on what you're studying as we kind of wrap it up here because I know you're a busy dude. Got to get back to the video games. I was kidding.
Tough day for Bruin fans, by the way.
Yeah?
Darshawn Nix is going to the G League.
What are your thoughts on that? I saw that coming down earlier today.
I mean, I found out like 2 weeks ago. I mean, you can't tell a kid not to take $300,000.
Yeah.
At 18, you just can't do that.
You can't.
I think it's great for him. It sucks for UCLA though.
I know.
Like that was a big get for Coach Cronin. Big get. Like, so it's gonna be. To be honest with you, Coach Cronin is an unbelievable coach. Really good. Like you can tell what he did this year. The tail end of this year when he got the guys into his system.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. So like it just sucks that he put in all that work to get such a great kid. Get him in, get him signed, and you lose him in that manner. I mean, God. But other than that, like, I think UCLA is going to be in a good position. I think Coach Cronin and those guys are going to do a good job. they've already been doing a good job, but that is a tough hit. That's a big time point guard. Not too many point guards like that walk through that door.
I'm with you there. I do love the development of Tiger Campbell, and if Chris Smith decides to come back with the transfer from Kentucky,
but Johnny Juzang, I think he has to sit out a year.
Unless he can get a waiver.
Long time. So I mean, he might get waived because he is from LA. But I think they have a pretty good backcourt. I don't think Chris Smith is coming back to school. I love his game. Unbelievable talent.
Unbelievable.
When the NBA scout sees that, NBA team sees that, he's not a guy that you just got to work extra hard. You just pluck him in because he can guard 3 positions. So, I mean, he was a good talent. A young kid. He came in. He was supposed to be a senior in high school his freshman year.
He was so young. Yeah.
Like that lets you know what kind of talent he is. Because he held his own at 17 in the NCAA. He's going to be fine. He's definitely a pro. Wish him the most success. I think he's great.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what are you majoring in? What are you studying right now?
History. But I just have to finish up a lot of classes. I work in art. If you see on my Instagram, you see on that art.
Yeah.
So I sell art.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's why you see all those art.
Yeah.
I actually did a couple pieces for Kyle, a couple pieces for Ron. So I
really
a lot of athletes to just.
Very
Eric
cool.
Is one of my clients. He's a big Murakami fan.
Sure.
Linebacker for Vikings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Caleb Benock that played at UCLA, played football.
Okay.
My clients in the NFL. So I work with just a lot of guys and just helping them invest in art and making good choices in the long run.
Well, dude, you're in good hands. You are, and it looks like you're in the backdrop of, I don't know, the White House or something in the West Wing. Like where you.
It's a pretty big office. It's art in the wall in the back area.
Yeah. Well, check out Tony's art. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is Tony Parker 23. Twitter, Tony Parker 32. I'm on Twitter at Bryan Fenley. Tony, thanks for doing this. And I'm glad to hear you're doing well. And once this quarantine stuff gets lifted, man, I'll be on campus from time to time. Would love to meet you, man.
Yeah, definitely.